In this video, we're going to go through the instructions for installing and configuring the Java JDK. We're going to go kind of quick. Feel free to pause the video, slow it down. If I'm too slow, speed it up. Okay, JDK, what does that stand for? That is the Java Development Kit. So when you see these things, just know SE is standard edition and the JDK is included. So before you start, if you do have Java already installed, let's say you have a really old version, you can actually go to this link. I brought it up over here, and this shows you how to uninstall Java. They have Mac and Linux instructions as well. I'm using a Windows computer, so this video will be geared towards Windows. If you are using Linux or Mac, I can help you, so please reach out. Okay, let's go back to this page over here. So part one, step one, has you go to this link, and it tells you to click this 15.0.2 Windows, so a lot of craziness over here. Essentially, all you need to do is go to the website, which I already have done, and then click this, and that's really it. So I'll go ahead, click that, and it brings you to this page. And then on this page, depending on if you're using Linux, Mac, or Windows, since I'm using Windows, I'm going to install this file. So I'm going to click it. So after you click this, it'll download to whatever directory you put it in. Okay, now that you've downloaded the file, just go ahead and double click and you'll see this window pop up. And this will step you through the install process. So I'm just gonna follow the directions. I'm gonna hit next. I'm gonna select the file. So if you don't like where this is installing to, you can change it, but I'm going to leave it as the default. So I'll hit next. It's going to go through its thing, and it looks like it's successfully installed. So I'll go ahead and close that. So the big thing here is JDK includes the JRE, which is Java Runtime Environment. So you now have the JDK and JRE. If you don't understand the acronyms quite yet, that is perfectly fine. And in fact, one of the lessons, I'll show you some graphical depictions of these, which should make this whole JRE, JDK thing a little bit easier to understand. Okay, so after you've installed it, open your Windows Explorer and go find where you installed it. So in this case, it was just the default location. So within the lib folder, there is a source.zip. Go ahead and unzip this to somewhere other than C program files. So you could put it on your desktop if you have a OCCC folder or something, put it in there, but this is all of the Java source code that will reference through the year. This isn't required at this time, but this is a good thing to do right now. Okay, the next step is probably the hardest, or gives people a lot of trouble. But what you're going to need to do is open up this environmental variables window. So there are some directions on how to get there. The easiest I find is to go down to your search bar in Windows and type in edit environment. Once you do that, it'll bring up this window for you and you should be able to make changes. So because I already have a path variable up here, I'm going to go ahead and edit. And I've already done this. I've added this environment variable. This is so no matter where you are on your computer, the path will find this Java and be able to run all of your programs, no matter where you are. So this is going to be very helpful for you. If you notice, I've kept my window open from unzipping the source code from earlier, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click in here, I'm gonna copy the address, and this is so I don't make just a careless typo. So when I go in here, for most of you, you'll have to create a new one. So I can go ahead and create new, and then I'll just do a Control-V paste. That saves me from any sort of typo or any character I'm getting wrong. That's just a good tip. You can try to risk it and type it yourself, but I do not recommend it. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. I'm just gonna cancel, get out of this. Okay, the last step, making sure our path is actually correct. Okay, open a command line terminal, go down to your Windows search, type in CMD, and hit return, and it'll bring up this old school looking window. In here, we're just going to type these commands. So we've got javac -version and java-version. So the javac is actually the Java compiler. And if you successfully set your path and installed everything, you'll see something like this. So it should match 15.0.2. And then I'll do the same thing for Java. And it's 15.0.2. So we won't do a lot of command line stuff because we'll be in Eclipse most of the time. But if you were to run your Java programs from the command line, to compile the Java program, you'd use javac, and then after it compiled, you would run the Java file with just a Java in the file name. That was a quick run through of how to get set up. This is one of the most complicated things you'll do at the beginning of the year. But once you get it, we don't have to revisit this anymore. Thanks.